Okay. Whatever. I don't know if I can get this to work, so it is going to be what it is. So yes, I'm back and live, and I hope people can see and join. I have had multiple issues with this, so I don't even know how to find my own live stream. So I hope you guys are able to at least watch this after I've recorded, at a very minimum. So yeah, it kind of sucks. It does not say, like, I can't find myself anywhere on YouTube. Anyway, whatever, doesn't matter. So let's get some wiring done, and let's see if I can actually make something out of this tree. So enough whining about that. So what should we talk about while I'm wiring a tree? I used to have some pretty interesting chats wiring trees back in Australia with the old Nicholas. Alright. Well, I want to bring this around here. This is probably one of the first things, is it? Or do I want to bring... I want these to go down. Quite down, actually. I think we can make this a pretty concise looking tree, just like this. What do I have to wire to, though? Let's just have a look. Alright, let's just get rid of some of this fluff, because it's never... I want to expose that part of the tree, not... Do I want that to ever be something? I don't think so. Don't think so. I don't want these needles here. You kind of seem a bit in the way. This little bud here at the front, though, that could prove to be useful somewhere in the future. Alright, let's have a look. Let's get this wire sorted. What a pain. Alright, just use this. I'm going to slice it all the way around. It should just peel off. But we'll find out. Alright. When I just started my business, I had some interviews done, and or an interview done. I think another one got recorded but never got released or something. I can't remember what happened to that. And I put it up on the YouTube channel, and a guy called me because I had my business up and running, and he called me and he said, keep doing that. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever, like I don't have time for YouTube, I'm starting a business or whatever. But that guy's phone call really stuck in my head, and it really got to me that I wasn't doing YouTube and consuming so much. I watch so much YouTube. It's like the only thing I watch, really. And so I was like, well, I should really start doing this. And I like wiring bonsais. I like making cool looking trees. And like, you know, on Instagram, people were liking my stuff. So I was like, well, maybe I should just do this more consistently, and on like a, you know, better platform for like live stream or long format videos where I can just sort of style trees and hang out with a bunch of people and hopefully answer your questions. Maybe, do you know what? Alright, this is what I'm going to do. Because I can't look at live streams, I'm going to start a Discord. So that that seems to be the smartest thing to do. So I'm going to start a Discord. Hang around. I mean, it'll be just like Hakuju-En Bonsai or whatever, but I'm going to build a community there. All right, so that's super easy because I could have that up and running on my computer right next to where I'm wiring, and I could just read the comments there. All right, so, and I fully realize that maybe not everyone who is interested in what I do has, a Discord account or channel or whatever, but it will be better than not even seeing what is being said in the chat. So let's roll with that. So if you haven't yet, now's the time to create yourself a Discord account, and we can chat there. I've seen other YouTubers and streamers do that, and I would love to be able to catch up with like people who have questions, and instead of just a couple of days later being like, oh yeah, here's the answer to that question, be like more instantaneous with my replies. But look, you can see how soft this wire is. I hope you can see. That's why I'd really like to have like a monitor. Oh, can I do it? No, I can't. I cannot do that. But let's see how close I can get this foam. At a very least, you can maybe get just a bit closer. Now, I won't be doing this too long. Hopefully I can smash out this tree and then just go cook dinner and go pick my kids up from school. But yeah, I really would like to just do some bonsai. It's been too long. It's been like weeks since I've touched a tree, and like months before that. But I have found some source of supply, and I hope to fully capitalize on that, so that I can keep getting trees. And then who knows, maybe I can just, I used to be able to it used to be like I copy my oil cutters method, business model, of just flipping trees. So we would go out and buy trees at auction, or from other vendors, and the model in Japan is very different to Australia, where you're sort of expected in Australia to do the whole thing yourself. That is absolutely in no way the business model in Japan. And no one pretends it's any other way. So I'm not sure where Australians got that from. And let me know, if you're watching from a different country, like is it expected in your country that as bonsai nurseries do like the propagation and the growing and every part of bonsai themselves, or is it more, staged out like Japan, where a bonsai nursery might just focus on finishing, and they'll buy a whole lot of started material from, a starter nursery, and from there they'll develop it, and starter nursery might buy all their material from a propagation nursery. It's just the way it's done over there. Each nursery sort of focuses on one stage of the bonsai, and there is no, oh, you didn't grow that, that's not your tree. And it's like, no one cares about that crap. No one in Japan has ego like that. They just, it's very much an industry, and it is that way here, It's that way here. You got guys that are just growing this material and selling it at this stage, and you got other guys that are taking it on and making more refined material out of it, and then selling that on to the next person, maybe the end user, or maybe another nursery. I call this whole process flipping, and that's because I would buy trees wherever I could in Australia, and I would style them up for a few years, and then they'd go on the market, and we'd sell them, you know, at a premium, because we've had some real love put into them, some real care, and they've been developed. Okay, but we're getting some sort of style developing here, so I think we just continue on. And I try and navigate these lower buds. I would love to see if I decanted that with that back bud. I think I won't, but I do believe that if I was to let that grow in full sun, it may actually just want to back bud on its own, because I haven't got my hands on any fertilizer yet. I mean, I'm really fresh here. I'm still opening all my wine. Excuse me. So right. Now let's have a look. So the next step is I do want to get these down and defining quite a lot of the shape. And this little guy, doesn't have a partner. He might have to partner up with this guy here. All right. So yes, if you're not watching this while it's live, I still would really like to know in the comments, please, you know, I am doing this live and it's a bit rough and ready, and I have challenges knowing, you know, if it's any good. So criticism, feedback, tell me, you know, do you like the live? Where do you want the camera? Do you want this more cut and edited? Do you want to, like, you know, in terms of like pre-recording it? I mean, I just like here. I mean, I'll sit here and wire trees all day long. And I thought, well, why not just have the camera on and maybe talk to the bonsai community in general, or anyone who's interested in learning about bonsai, and answering some questions. You know, I did post some stuff on Reddit. I know, post on Reddit. I posted on Reddit, and you know, it was a bit of a mixed feedback. You know, I'm r/bonsai. I was like, hey guys, this is what I do. Have a look. And now people are like, oh, isn't this self-promotion? I'm like, well, isn't this what you want to see? Oh, I just realised one of my favourite things to do is use my bonsai wire cutters to adjust the wire, and I don't have like my old wire cutters, so anyway, it's just a realisation. But yeah, I would love to know, like, what do you think of this style of, and I'm not even going to call it an educator, it's entertainment, that's what it is. But like, I'm more than happy to answer questions while I'm doing this, as long as I can have something like, you know, I can set up a Discord. And but look, it's coming along, you can see that, right? can see there. It's coming along. So let's just keep wiring, and you'll see as I get through it how it develops. So I need to get. Oh man, I'm so eager to set that Discord up now, so I can really engage with people, and also I can like promote. This is fantastic. All right, so we're going to do that. But first, I need to deal with these branches, and I want to put something like. There's 4 coming from this. I don't know. So I do want to hold on to as many of these buds as possible until the latest possible time. You know, I keep a lot of buds as insurance policies, and you know, something's bound to happen. One's going to die, you know, and sometimes it's not even your fault. You know, someone will be. I mean, I've got a balcony here where everything's going to go and squeeze there, and it'll die. Or, I don't know. Something will happen, right? So you try and keep a couple more buds if you can, and that way, you know, you'll be able to. Let me just see if it has something to do. I can join because, I mean, I've just tried to look up. I tried to look up myself on another account, and like it's not showing live. So I believe you guys haven't joined because maybe something like VPN or whatever, VPN issues or something like that. It's my guess. Which is frustrating, but whatever. We'll just live with it. These two are too close to each other, and this is in a much worse position. So, yeah. So we're just gonna have to go with the Discord and the other stuff. So let's get him wired in. That will make a nice little branch. It will be related to these guys over here. If this is all part of the same thing, then I sort of don't want it to be. I think that should be like one pad, right? And that's all part of something else. Anyway. Just wiring around these tiny little buds. And I got this. So this must be 17, 18, and 19 gauge wire. And I think I could go one smaller for some of these buds. And I always used to get in trouble from wire cutter, you know, claiming I used too small a wire. However, I do believe this might not. Okay, that's nicely anchored. Okay. So I think this little area, you see this bud here. So like all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they all like terminate in the same area, but this guy, he's like just out and about there. This sort of thing where you've got the silhouette of the tree and yet one bud sticks out. So I want you guys, when you're styling at home, to be mindful of that, because that is often what is stopping your tree from seeming like it's well wide. Is one bud like this, and you're like trying to wrap your head around why it's not working, and it's just like sometimes you just need to cut them off. Now, at this point in time, I'm going to leave it there, knowing that it's like that, and it's like this thorn in my side, and that if things aren't coming together, I can cut it off. But I would like to use it if I can to help fill in this area, because it would probably, it's deep down and probably wire in nicely, but like I could probably get it to work. But it's one of those situations where I'm like, hey, look, here's this thing, be mindful of it. That's going to cause you headaches later. So anyway, I'm just planning the next couple of wires here, because everything is so closely close here that it would be, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to wire everything on this tree, for the pure fact that some of these buds are way too light for this wire, and it's like it's using up like all of my skill to tree. It is a finicky little tree. I'll give it that. But I am expecting pretty cool results, so I'd like to get that done. Sometimes on new like unrefined material that you sort of have to start from scratch, you will have to mess around for a while to get them right. But you also don't want to mess around too much, because bending buds backwards and forwards, it really puts the pressure on the bud to survive. Anyway, okay, one more turn there. Cut the tail off. Cut the tail off. Yeah, I'm going to have to really maneuver that bud there, and I'm going to leave some needles down there to promote back budding. But I'm going to have to pull that one down, and like this bud up here, I was doing like a branch bud, and then it's like automatically it's like, oh, okay, this is part of the apex. This is like a defining bud of the apex. So you see what I mean? This bud is just sticking out, and it's not offering much. And I'm gonna have to pull something up, and sort of. Sometimes bonsai is about averages too. Like, not every single bud has to be perfectly placed, even though it seems like that when you look at a photograph of the tree or whatever. Every bud seems to be perfectly placed. A lot of the time, it's actually not. A lot of the time, when you get up close, you realize that, like, wow, this is nowhere near as perfect as I thought it was, and that's because, like, a lot of the time it's very difficult to get get a tree to be like that. So almost seems they're slightly different. Whoa! This got a bit of bounce to it, but it does have some flexibility. So, but this one definitely could have been softer. That's all right. Live and learn. Also, when you're buying copper wire that's not for bonsai, you realize like it's much cheaper to buy like non-bonsai specific wire. Because once they know that you're using it for bonsai, they're like, oh yeah, these people, they're not in the industry. They're not in engine making, which is what this wire is for. It's for making like electric engines. And so they're like, oh, we can charge like way more than it's worth. Although, like buying this wire and buying other wires, it's like it's not that much different. It might be close to like double the price, or slightly less than that. An extra 50% on top for bonsai specific. When it's like absolutely not necessary to pay that much money. And I've bought wire in Japan from my oyakata. And yeah, like I got good prices like direct from the bonsai nursery. You know, he didn't mark it up or anything like that, but still, bonsai wire is more expensive because it is for this niche hobby that people and from the hobby that they know what like fertilizer prices and pot prices, but really in the copper wire world, and I suppose maybe you're also competing with manufacturers that are building electric motors, which it requires a lot more copper. I dropped that other size of wire down here. So yeah, usually I've had a few people join the live stream by now. It looks like that no one has, which gives me the indication that technical issues such as VPNs and whatnot. So we will just keep our fingers crossed that something can come of that. I don't know what we're going to do to fix that, but I have a feeling that there will be anyway, hopefully, I don't know, maybe I can do Twitch or something and see if that works. I don't know. Do people use Twitch? Are they the same crowd as the YouTube users as well? Anyone in the comments want to let me know about that? Yeah, I got two phones. I can set up two live streams at the same time, and see see what platform works for everybody, or yeah, for the channel. Or for just the purposes of VPN. But I will be getting that. I wonder if I can just quickly smash this tree out and then go build that server and then put out like some sort of public announcement or something. Anyway. Let's cut all these back. So yeah, we're not going to get a show tree out of this, you know, in one day's wiring and I don't know, half an hour or whatever, but we should be able to, you know, get some shape and direction into this tree. You know, it's coming along. It's nearly there. Don't write it off straight away. We will definitely need to work on it for a few years, or if someone wants to take it off my hands to do the job for me, we can also arrange that. That's now it's apex time, and we need to think like apex predators. We need to think apex wise, which is it's a different thought process to wiring branches. So just yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need a conversation going here with some people. But look, you know what? It's like not bonsai, and it's just like one bud will pull like most of this into shape. And look, there's a bud here that came off its hook. It's looking out of place. This one, that's the one I told you. That's gonna make your tree feel awkward. And look, it's annoying me now. But anyway. This tree basically wired itself. Okay, I don't take any credit. So yeah, with a knob cutter I can probably clean up some of this stuff and make some dead wood and make that look a bit fun. Okay, so we're going to pull this into shape. That can come back here and things like that. And it will be partnered with this little bud here, I guess. So how do we transform that? This little bud has a little knob that it's coming off. And it's going to need the wire to go around that first. You know, in my toolkit, I have they're minuscule pliers. They're tiny. They're almost like tweezers. And they are perfect for this little application here. I really miss them right now. No matter. They were also a Masakuni. I think they were pretty pricey. They were like $100. And they were stainless, which I was really upset about. But whatever. Like, I don't like stainless steel tools, but they were stainless, and I was like willing to put up with it because they were like a good tool. And I miss them right now. They would do very nicely in this application. Pull this down a bit, put him in there with this buddy. I could definitely do with some size 20 wire. Could definitely do with that. So I can't stream on Little Red Book. I am not Chinese mainland. So I don't know. That's gone out of the book. So yeah, I think definitely it will end up being like I'll be on Twitch to at least use my other phone. and I don't know. I still don't know whether or not it's streaming or it's like recorded videos with cuts, and if it's still like, am I going to do like instructions, or maybe people do that. Like Bjorn's done that so much, and I just wonder to myself like, oh, maybe that's like, is it done? Is that? I see so many tutorial sort of, or like how-to bonsai on YouTube, and yeah, I'm like, well, I don't agree with what they're saying, but like, do we need another one? And like, who's like, they're gonna be like, who the hell are you? But who the hell is anyone, really, I guess. But, yeah. Anyway. This is a poor wiring job. This is absolutely poor. But anyway, we'll just get it in place, because this will come off pretty soon, I would imagine. I don't imagine this wire being on for much longer than maybe 6 months, which for a black pine, that's pretty soon. It's pretty soon. I want to be very careful with that bud. Alright. Basically just that bud and that bud. Yeah, I think I'll be ordering some size 20 wire after this. This 19 is slightly too large. That's right. We'll make do. But yeah, if I want to be better with my detailed stuff, I should get some smaller wire. But at least this has some pretty ridiculous hold for the brand, for the bud that it's on. So I'll give it that. Give myself that? I don't know. Did I just pull that off? I did. I think I just pulled that bud off. I did. Alright, good on you, man. That was fantastic. Well done, mate. Alright, let's have a look. That's rather devastating. Let's get this apex right, and this bud here. You don't need a lot to make an apex, but you do want to avoid like huge gaps. And how do you do that? This is the secret to making an apex is, yes, you do not need a lot. You don't need many buds, but what you do need to do with your buds is have them very evenly spaced out around like your apex. So if you don't have many buds, this is building this apex out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buds, which actually that's quite a lot. They're just really poorly distributed around the top of the tree. But what you can do to ensure that you have a better looking apex is just make sure that they're all really evenly distributed. So the same distance between each one's gap, like the gap between each one is exactly the same. And they're kind of rounded out, and like I have not left many needles on this, probably because I've been poking and prodding at it the whole time. But that will round out to a nice apex. That will take one growing season. Hopefully, I'm going to put some fertilizer on this and hopefully watch that push out that little bud there. I would rather more needles on that, but it is what it is. It was a pretty fiddly little tree, and this wire. Yeah, I mean it's designed for winding electric motors. If you ever pull one apart, you'll notice it's like lots of copper wire wound around, and it doesn't need to be that soft, but it is. It was okay for this application, and I don't know, maybe a bit more tweaking, and I could fill this in a bit more, and you could feel like it's a bit more like a apex, and you'd be probably less hard on me for making a tree look like this. But anyway, I think it's good. It's a little bare there, but that apexes fill out super duper quick. So anyway, that was that little wiring job, and to tell you, I'm moved on from Dali. I'm now living in Shenzhen, and I plan to do quite a lot of this stuff. So please tell me. Contact me however you want, whether it's in the comments or email or whatever, and just tell me how you want to view the content. Like, is it through these live streams, or is it edited videos with a bit more, instructions or whatever? But I do want to engage with the community, so I will be jumping off now and building a Discord for Hakuju-En, and if any time I'm doing a live stream or you want to ask me questions or whatever, I'll have that there, and you can chat, and we can create a community of like-minded bonsai enthusiasts together. So yeah, let's that's not great. It's not fantastic, is it? But it's something. right, I think I will end the live stream there, and thank you very much for tuning in again, and be on the lookout for a post. I'll make it as soon as I possibly can about the upcoming Discord, or yeah, hopefully I'll get it built today, and I'll be able to let you know about it today. So thank you again, and see you on the next one.